What's up out there? We ain't really getting in too much today. We're just watching a couple videos, looking at this dude that they was calling a white gunman. Ain't it funny how they just come to the conclusion that these gunmen are all white right off the rip without even. It's like, what the fuck is going on in our world, man? Not all white people are shooters, people. What's up, Sean? What's up, Deerfield?
On the note at the shooter's home in Las Vegas, sources tell ABC News it was in part an
They
apology
calling
to
this
his
dude
parents.
a white dude.
And we're learning new details about the attack as well and the victims who lost their lives. ABC's Eka Jachi is here in New York with more on that. So, what are we learning about this apology note that the shooter wrote to his parents?
That's right. So investigators, they're still combing through all the evidence that they can find about Tamura.
The hell with the apology note he wrote to his parents. What about the people that he just killed? I mean,
and they've led themselves to Las Vegas, where this entire
gun control
began.
absolutely
So
does not work.
In which he owns.
I've always said that, man. Gun control does not work. If somebody's gonna kill somebody, they don't stop and look up the laws before they do it. They just do it. What's up, Jack Rabbit?
And they found that second note, that which law enforcement sources say partially was an apology to his parents. Now, authorities are still reviewing the content for further insight into Tamura's actions and possible trips.
How was this dude allowed to walk down the streets of New York with a fucking rifle?
For his actions, they believe that his primary target was the NFL headquarters that was located on 345 Park Avenue. And they do this because they've seen the extensive references, not only in that second note, but that first note. Remember, investigators found that 3-page note on his person that essentially accused the NFL of concealing the dangers of football-related head injuries. Obviously, he claimed he suffered CTE. That is
I seen that shit too. Them wannabe gangsters. Look wild, man.
Not able to be determined while he's still alive. Nevertheless, investigators are also discovering that he had several mental health crises back in Las Vegas, where he lives, once in 2022, another in 2024. They also know that he still maintained his CCW license, his concealed carry license, that the Las Vegas Police Department gave him in 2022, despite Nevada's red flag laws that were instilled in 2019. But again, the police, they're still working to understand his actions and whether or not anybody assisted him in this back home. But again, back for the NFL part, there's still no link between Tamura and the NFL from what investigators are looking at.
And officials say he was targeting NFL.
So what's that mean? That the dude was just thinking that he was in the NFL? Is that what they're trying to say? There was no connection between him and the NFL at all, like he'd never played for him?
Headquarters, but ended up in a different office because he got on the wrong elevator. What more are investigators saying in terms of the actual timeline of what happened here, how he pulled off this attack?
Well, essentially, the entire incident started when Tamura walked into that lobby at 345 Park Avenue. That's when he immediately shot an off-duty NYPD officer. And then he shot another woman that was taking cover. Now, he fired several shots in the lobby. That's according to law enforcement sources and surveillance video, injuring others, then shooting a security guard at the elevator bank. This is where investigators say he made what apparently would be labeled a mistake in his mind, him wanting to go to the NFL headquarters, unfortunately, instead ending up at Rudin Management, where more injuries and another unfortunate fatality happened. But law enforcement, first responders, after that, they locked down and evacuated the building. We saw that video where several people were exiting the building with their hands up in the air, and they're still trying to obviously discover, determine, and look through all of the evidence to just find out what exactly triggered this entire attack, Diane.
And what about the victims? What's the latest on them? And
see, white people are starting to learn. Following the black people. If black people are running, you just fucking run. You don't ask no questions, nothing. You just start following them. White people, they won't be so fucking nosy. What was that? Let's go look.
Their backstories here.
Right. So we do know that first off-duty police officer was 36-year-old Didaru Islam of the NYPD. He was a Bangladesh immigrant that immigrated to the United States. He served at the NYPD's 47th precinct in the Bronx for 3.5 years.
No drama.
He was working as an off-duty security officer at the time when he was killed. He survived by his wife, who's 8 months pregnant at the time of the shooting. He has 2 young sons. We know about Wesley LePatner. She's the Blackstone executive. She's survived by her husband and 2 children. We know Julia Hyman, which sources are starting to uncover, 27-year-old Julia Hyman. She was killed on the 33rd floor after the shooter mistakenly accessed the Rue Management where she works. We know about Alain Etienne. He's one of the building security guards. He was fatally shot while serving a security role in the torso. And we also know that another individual is injured, an NFL employee. His name right now is being withheld. Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, mentioned him in a statement yesterday, Diane.
All right, Ike Ejiochi, thank you.
This motherfucker wanting to hurt everybody. Shit's gone.
You probably know Vistaprint for business cards because we've printed.
Why do people just go off and just take it out on people they've never met before? I don't get that at all, right? I don't think I could ever just fucking go and hurt somebody who has never done anything to me. What's up, just doing? Yeah, they have Copper Top, and it's a shame too, man. It's like nobody has love for human life anymore. Everybody wants to be noticed, is what it is. They want to do this extreme shit to be noticed. That's all they give a fuck about. Let's go see what our little buddy Case is doing today.
Somebody's magically calling me.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I really don't. I mean, it's like, I get it if somebody's done something to you, you know, to really fuck you over or whatever, but just to go and just start mass shooting people, I've never understood that. I never have understood these school shootings, none of that stuff. What's up, Christy? Yeah, me too. Me too. I like big crowds. You know what's a shame is like I don't go off in big places with a lot of people and shit, and the kids want to go to movies. And what's a shame is I had to sit there and tell them, hey, look, like if anything happens, you see right there, that's where the fuck you go. You get down, don't worry about nobody, and get the fuck out of here. But that's like right when they was doing all the damn dumb shit where they was doing a lot of those shootings and shit. Damn, Copper Top, I hate to hear that, bro. I hate to hear that. That's, you know, suicide's a hell of a thing too, right? Because a lot of people have to deal with the aftermath of that. I hate that for you. Well, you be careful out here, sour poison. It's hot right now. I don't know where you're at, but if it's anywhere like here, it is extremely hot. I don't think the purge will ever be legal.
Me? I never get any phone calls. Nobody ever calls Casey. I don't know. I'm sure it's Rob Spenceley. I called Rob, the lawyer, a while ago. Said he'd get back to me. It doesn't have to be today. I know Wednesday's the day of miracles, right? Miércoles.
Slayback, what's up, bro? Alright, he ain't doing shit. Ain't just walking around. Y'all see this shit right here?
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and the YouTube Music app all together.
In my mouth. What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake
What's
of
up, Bubba K?
You know, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites only place.
White American culture.
Over the last year and a half, high up in the Ozark Hills in the state.
Me personally, I think this is a good idea. Just to be honest with you, I think that like all cultures ought to have a place where they can go just to be with their own, without it being some racial shit. If black people want to herd up and live together, so be it. If Chinese people want to herd up and live together, so be it. I think everybody should be entitled to that.
Of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, leveling the land, building.
Now
they call it.
I get schools and all where everybody's got to go together because they all are entitled to the same education and everything. I get that, but you shouldn't be forced to have to live around people you don't want to. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion on it. Nothing racial about it. No, I didn't slay back.
An intentional community based around shared ancestry, a long-winded way of saying something really quite simple.
Yeah, I know they are.
I
know they are, and they're getting praised for it. Well, white people are getting attacked for doing the same exact thing. It's crazy, ain't it, Christy?
It'd be called far right, sure.
It's called Return to the Land, and they invited me in.
A lot of people are going to be, why are you making Nazi references? Right. Well, why wouldn't I?
A seemingly bucolic and sometimes surreal experience. But this is built on a radical modern premise, made possible because of a new political and technological moment. Instead of taking to the streets, they are building their own for generations to come.
It's important for me to do this.
Let me ask y'all something. I see we lost a lot of people with that, which I'm okay with that. But what's the difference in these people doing this and the Amish doing it? What's the difference? You don't see a lot of black Amish people. I think I've seen one or two that were adopted or something like that. But I don't see no difference in it.
Ancestors, my friends, my family, my children, my children's children.
But in this southern US state, people who have lived through segregation once fear it is returning.
When you hear things like that, it causes you to be fearful.
Of what?
And you don't know who to trust.
Its founder says he is building a fortress for the white race.
It's a racial association. I kind of want to ask you, after seeing this, do you think what we're doing is immoral?
What's cracking, Inferno?
Yeah, got a show for y'all. Got a damn good show. But before we get
I know, Copper Top. I know. That's why I said what I said. That's why I started out with that. Is because it automatically goes to it's white people. They're trying to create divide. That dude didn't even look white.
White only show. Don't forget about our new giveaway: Ford 250 King Ranch and Camper and $10,000 in cash. Get in the win. Go pick up any of my swag at officialhorsetwins.com or products or something.
A truck be pimp.
Get automatically into the win. I'm not fearful. Wait a minute before you start the video. Does this scare you? No. Should it? I mean, if I get lost and I wind up right with baby.
He said if I get lost.
Yeah.
Welcome to Little Rock, where the local time is 4:27.
That's funny. He landed in Little Rock. That's one.
All right, Joey. We appreciate you just coming in.
High crime rate. Little Rock, Arkansas. Yeah. You know why, right? All right, then. Diversity.
For the last few years, I've been exploring how an ethno-nationalist movement has been organizing online. A network that aims to define countries by ethnicity, but which links across borders. And this is the place that one group has chosen to put that into radical real-world action.
You want a white nation? Build a white town. It can be done, and we're doing it.
It is an extreme view, but it draws on more familiar arguments. That mass immigration is out of control, that Western societies are in danger of losing their fundamental character as a result.
So one of the arguments here.
Let me ask y'all this. Why is it that like all these black athletes, the first thing they do is move to a rich white subdivision. They don't go back to where they're from. Why is that? There's got to be a reason behind it.
This isn't about persecution of an ethnic identity, but protection of an ethnic identity. And that identity happens to be white. So we're going here now up into these pretty remote woods to really put that to the test.
We are driving deep into the Ozark Mountains. The group's leaders are not from Arkansas, and they've chosen these remote parts for a reason. All the locals I spoke to knew only a little about the group, if anything.
I don't necessarily agree with it.
Exactly, Copper Top.
That's not my choice.
Yeah, but do you think they should have the freedom to do it?
That's what they want to do. I think it's kind of a little fishy.
Hey, so in Atlanta, there is a nothing but a black compound called the New Wabians. Now, I don't think they're around anymore because I want to say that they perished in 2000. If I'm not mistaken, there was some kind of eclipse or something, and a lot of them committed suicide, but they were like tripping. They had a fucking compound, looked like a prison, guarded, assault rifles, black fatigues, the whole 9 yards. Now, why wasn't a big deal about them? They were radical.
I'm here, but just be safe.
The leader of the group is called Eric Orwell, and he's invited me to spend a few days with them.
Hey, Eric.
He insists what he is doing here is entirely legal, and that's key, because if it is, it could be a blueprint for many other communities to come.
Welcome to the Ozarks.
Thank you very much.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are.
You see that dog? That dog like he's looking for black people.
These motherfuckers are crazy.
And like he's been trained. Yeah. Do that dog like you. I don't see it. We haven't played this.
To come.
Welcome to the Ozarks.
Thank you very much.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are. And that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture effectively was saying,
what up,
this
Joe?
is a white culture, a whites only place.
White America.
Joe, let me ask you a question. How many black, God dang it. Doesn't slip my mind that quick. The people you don't like. The damn, God dang it. I'll think of it, just the name of them in just a second.
And culture. Yeah, not just white, but white American.
But what?
I watched the whole thing, no drama. That shit was
bringing back
crazy.
segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, I mean, it's free association. So we're.
I don't think it's segregation. They bought their own land. They can do whatever they want on their own land.
The Amish.
Yeah.
How many black Amish you ever seen, Joe? Yeah, thank you, Floozy. Mennonites. See, I don't know all the different branches of them, but how many of them do you see that are black?
It has nothing to do with segregation. Yeah, it does. Well, that's one community. He's not bringing back segregation. Well, just for that community. Yeah, just for the community. So if you white, you want to opt out, you want to join that community, that's fine. Yeah. But I don't think it's like necessarily bringing back segregation. Schools are still going to be integrated with all kinds of. Not this place.
How many Hispanics? Other than white, how many of them?
We're not trying to keep other people down. This is
that's my point behind it, right? They're trying to act like this is some big deal because the whites are moving off and want to be by themselves. They don't want black fatigue, as they call it.
Small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they're being kept out.
Well, I mean,
you don't stop it. He should have said, "I'm just trying to preserve my life. I'm trying not to get killed."
Right.
That's what he should say. Yeah, I'm just trying to stay alive over here. Yeah.
Everyone into your home.
160 acres taking shape. Forest cleared, roads laid, cabins built. Around 40 people live
110 damn degrees outside.
Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And I'm intrigued to find out what motivates people to give up their old lives for this.
We met here.
Oh, you met here? I guess he came here. I met here a little
Look at them white girls.
Oh my God, what a story. It beats Tinder, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, right.
David and Caitlin not only met here, they got married last month. They wouldn't
That
be
cut
here
got a
without
long ass
social
fucking
media.
neck.
Somebody had posted a video of Eric.
Yeah.
I saw videos of them actually building stuff on the land. I was like, oh man, I gotta come check this out.
I figure if there's nothing else like this in the country, like it should at least exist.
Yeah.
Like, do people really think that we should never be able to choose our neighbors?
It wouldn't be controversial for any other racial group to do this.
Bingo.
I think it'd be quite
fucking
controversial.
bingo.
Well, if you don't have rules against it, then anyone of any race can come and be your neighbor, and they're watching the news, which is telling you that white people are the cause of all your problems and all the ills of society, and suddenly your children are much less safe because there's a lot of violence, anti-white violence happening to white people. And
Oh, they building them.
Back to his point,
Andre.
Black people did the same thing. Look at this up in Georgia.
Yeah. And I don't see anything wrong with it.
You hear that?
I really don't. If black people want to build their own community and stay together and not have no white people there, so they got to worry about them, I don't blame them at all. Not at all. Go for it.
Is the sound of freedom. A lush and rugged expanse, about 130 miles.
Yeah, I laid out today.
Just shy of 97 acres. It's undeveloped, unincorporated.
Yesterday, the motherfuckers, I changed like 21 tires before lunch. I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out of here.
It has new
It's too hot out here for that
feels
shit.
amazing. It feels really amazing. I cry every time I come here.
Renee Walters is one of them. She's president of the Freedom Georgia Initiative. It's a collective of 19 black families
That lady
who
have a
recently bought
beard.
this land. This dream all started a few weeks ago. 97 acres. It's undeveloped, unincorporated, and it has new owners.
It feels amazing. Feels
Okay, it
really
was a
amazing.
mask.
I cry every time I come here.
Renee Walters is one of them. She's president of the Freedom Georgia Initiative. It's a collective of 19 black families who recently bought this land. This dream all started a few weeks ago during Renee's typical morning call with her friend Ashley Scott.
She said, Ashley, did you see the article about Toomsboro for sale?
It turns out that the entire small town was never for sale, just a bundle of a few dozen homes and buildings. So Ashley, a real estate agent, looked for listings in the area and found one for this.
And it was just such a beautiful piece of land. It was affordable, and it just made sense that we could create something that would be amazing for our families.
Why were these two women interested in the prospect of buying a town in the first place?
It really was when we saw what happened with Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the protests.
We both have black husbands, we both have black sons, and I was starting to get overwhelmed and have a sense of anxiety when my husband would leave the house to go to work.
So
bad things happen to white people too from the police. It happens more than what happens to black folks.
Yeah, this is
That's just an excuse.
well. She has her reasons for to do this, and then these people have their reason. Let's listen to
Well,
them.
I think white people have more reasonable reasons why they want to be separated from other races. The black girl took some isolated events that happens to all people and made an excuse for one to build.
Which is her right.
One's reasonable, one is just
Nah, it's everybody's right.
victimhood.
It's everybody's right.
Both sides are playing victim a little bit. A little bit, but I'm with the white man here. Shut up.
Shut up.
And specifically motivated by racism against white people. What sort of thing the heavens are about?
Exactly, Kyle.
Stop it real
I'd like
quick.
to continue.
Let me say this: there ain't gonna be no problem in this area. They ain't gonna be up in the hills killing each other.
Maybe not.
What I'm trying to say is, it will make more sense why the blacks built their own community if they would have said this. Well, the majority of our people is committing majority of violent crimes, so we want to separate ourselves from the violent people in our neighborhood. That makes more sense. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's just that others we just went on. Nah, yeah. Let's look at these people
talking. But the rain starts and it comes down hard. The residents shelter in their cabins and night falls. The next morning. This is how the average weekend works at Return to the Land, or RTTL, what they call a work party, made up of residents, but also new recruits who have come to check out the project. It is hot, hard work. To join RTTL, you have to sign up to the Private Members Association, or PMA. There are strict criteria for membership, as Scott Thomas, a board member and one of the founding fathers here, explains.
You have to be a PMA member to live here.
Yeah.
So you have to be someone of European heritage.
The group's logo, based on a Nordic rune, draws on that heritage. It is the PMA that the group believes makes this all legal. Once members have been vetted on ethnicity and other grounds, they can buy shares in the Limited Liability Company, or LLC. Those shares translate to acres of land that they can build on. Peter Seri is the brains behind the legal side of things.
Civil Rights Act is there for a reason, and this is
What's up, Jay Prez?
Yeah. Do you think it'll survive contact with the legal system, the courts, if it came to that?
Hopefully.
Do you think it's racist or not? Do you reject that term?
Now, why would it be even a question for white people to go and group up and buy property together and keep everybody else out? Why would that even be illegal? Well, blacks are allowed to do it. And I'm not saying that they got assistance to help do it, but I'm about willing to bet that they do.
Sir?
I don't know about that term. I mean, people use it in a lot of different ways. I'm sure there's a lot of people on the internet who would call me racist. I don't really know or care whether that term applies to me or not. Maybe.
Scott, what do you think?
Yeah, he probably racist. Well, at the very least, he has a prejudice. Yeah, he's prejudiced.
Yeah, I almost don't know what racist means anymore.
Oh, you know exactly what it means. You white. You better than that.
There's a prejudice towards someone who's from a different ethnicity.
Well, actually,
I think racism or being racist is when you're prejudiced for another group of people. You segregate and hold them down. Yeah, you prevent opportunities for them. Yeah, you discriminate. Yeah. You marginalize them. Them out there creating their own community is not taken away from anybody else. Yeah, it may be prejudice, but it's not racist. Yeah. Until, I guess, they want to live there. Right. You can't live around here.
Not a damn thing. Top. I agree with you on that, bro.
Yeah, then that becomes racist. Yeah.
See, the modern definition of racism.
Usually when you keep different races apart and living together, like, they thrive a lot better. When you start mixing all these different cultures in, that's when you had the fucking clash, right? Some people like to fucking party out in the front yard and play rap music till 3 o'clock in the goddamn morning, and some people like to get up and go to church on Sundays. Just different cultures. They got different things going on.
To critical race theory, all white people are racist automatically.
A lot of this is reaction to left.
See, it's just pushback from all this other stuff you hear from the left. Critical race theory. Yeah, and to be honest, I don't want to live in the United States of America if it's not majority white. Once it becomes majority non-white, it's gonna be a much different country. It's gonna be a much different country. Well, that's just a fact. If you just look at voting statistics, how ethnicities other than white vote, this country will be totally different. So I understand the fear of white people want to live in a country that's majority non-white. I understand that fear wholeheartedly because I don't want to live in a country that's majority non-white because it would systematically change our country for the worse.
Well, Latinos helped Trump win the election. Latino males.
Yeah.
Look how many white people voted for Democrats, Kevin.
Yeah.
Whites are not they ain't perfect now.
Yeah. But if you get rid of all the minorities, there would never be a Democrat person elected.
Well, you got me on that one. Yeah, I actually don't have a problem with these white people doing that. I don't have a problem with those black people doing that.
Yeah, they're not taking away opportunities from anybody else. Just want to ensure that their kids look like them and their cultures is, is protected.
When
It's
these
safe.
two
There's not a damn
different
thing wrong with
groups
that.
right here, both from one's in Arkansas, one's in Atlanta, Georgia. Once you start marginalize other people and discriminate against people, then that's when I have problems with that.
Yeah, but I don't see.
But they're not. They went out in the middle of nowhere. Ain't no minorities trying to live where they're living at. Nobody wants to live there but them. I get it.
It looks like it's just one big homeowners association for white people, and vice versa with the blacks. There's a big homeowners association for blacks. It's just for
Let's
black
see if
people
we can
to live in the
find
area.
where they bought all the land up there. All right, so this was 4 years ago.
Wherever you are, XE makes global money transfers easy. Download the XE app or visit xe.com.
Zaxby's just dropped new lemon pepper. So you can get that zesty lemon and cracked black pepper flavor you love.
Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. In this video, I would like to talk about the 19 black families who
Let's
bought
see what she got to say
in Georgia. And they did this to create a safe city for black people. Now, when I first saw this, I'm going to tell you right now, I was just filled with joy, bubbling over with joy. I said, wow, this is amazing that, first of all, they were able to do it because not everyone can afford to do something like this. And not everyone can work together. And so I wanted to talk about this story because one of their reasons for doing this was because they wanted to create a safe city for black people. Okay. We as a people have suffered a lot of trauma, right? And that's one of the things that this article on revolt.tv talks about, how one of the driving things was the fact that we as a people have experienced so much racial trauma, and those who are putting it out there against us, they don't seem to have any desire to stop it. Of course, you have individuals and groups here and there who are saying, look, leave these people alone, stop this, stop that, but not enough of them to even put a dent in what we've experienced. So that's one of the things that was talked about in this article in regards to these families coming together to buy this land. First of all, I'm really happy to know that they were thinking this far ahead, because not everyone desires to move to Africa or another country, and not everyone can afford to do that. I spoke about that in a recent video, because it's one thing to buy land where you're familiar with buying land, but to relocate to a whole other unfamiliar country without all of the facts and all of the details of what is involved, that can be time consuming. And from the looks of things with this group here, maybe they didn't feel like waiting for all the time required to do what it is that needs to be done in order to buy land in Africa. Again, the desire may not have even been there. But the point that I wanted to talk about with this too is not so much as just only about their story. I would like to see a duplication of this, okay? But I can tell you with all certainty, and my husband and I both, we want to talk about this in more detail at a later date on another video, but it's very...
That's what y'all want to hang out with and party with. That's what y'all want to do. Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Y'all go ahead and get your hate out. Get all your names you're going to call me and get that out of your system. But for your information, I have been on 9 cruises since 1993.
I've been on more than that.
The ones through 2005 were not cheap, but they were very nice cruises. The people that worked the ship were nice. The people that were on the cruise were nice. You didn't go to the dining room.
The problem is like, I get it. They bought a ticket, they booked the passage, you know, and they spent their money, so they feel like they should be able to enjoy themselves. But they forget that other people spent their money too, and they should be able to enjoy themselves as well. When you start making it all about you and what you want, it just is hard to accommodate that, right?
Room dressed like you were going to the pool. There was a certain amount of decorum required. When you got up in the morning, you could go through early in the morning, because I was. You could go through the breakfast and get coffee and a donut. They had a continental breakfast that early.
The last cruise that we went on was during the summertime of last year, and it was like during the middle of summer. And I'm going to tell you, it was the worst cruise I had ever been on, because it was rowdy as fuck.
And then go to what's called the Serenity deck, and you could sit there and drink your coffee and enjoy the sun coming up. You couldn't do that on this last cruise because they were still drunk from the night before. And the only place they could find to hide with their goofiness is on the Serenity deck. The people on either side of us in the cabin were ridiculous. Their trash stumbled out into the hallway. And I'm not talking people, I'm talking literal trash. They would go up to the bars, the buffets, and get plates and plates of stuff, and then just pile it on the floor outside their door.
Wouldn't even eat it. I seen that too.
If you don't know what she's trying to say, what she's basically trying to say is that there has been a new element based off of the popularity of cruises, and obviously social media, I believe, played a large role in people now doing stuff on cruises, because you know how it is. People are a Me Too culture, and so they can't think for themselves. And a lot of times, all of the things that they embrace or the things that they think is dope is all based off of what somebody else says. So because cruises have now become the thing, and it's been a lot of stuff, Tulum, you know, it's a space spot over in Ohio that everybody used to go to. Now it's Black Yacht. Obviously, that's been around for a little time. But she's basically saying that Black people, and not even all Black people, but Black culture and the worst of us, have now infiltrated into a place that used to be an okay and affordable place to go. And they've completely ruined it by bringing their nonsense with them.
Y'all go ahead and get your hate out.
I don't know what the hell that's about. Fuck this dude's hands gesture.
Give $100 out if you show me 4 videos of white people on a Carnival cruise doing this.
All broke out among Carnival cruise ship passengers in Texas, resulting in more than a dozen people being banned from the liner for life. The violence erupted as passengers were disembarking from the Carnival Jubilee when it docked in Galveston on Saturday, following a week-long Caribbean trip. Footage shared on social media shows multiple passengers barging past barriers to trade blows, with one man shoved to the floor and then pummeled by a handful of others. Multiple security guards can be seen running toward the fight, but they struggled to immediately contain the melee. Several open suitcases were left scattered around the terminal in the aftermath.
Some people may sound wrong for this. When there's too many black people in one place, it seems to always go bad or be extra ghetto. I'm just throwing it out there. I travel all around the country. I've been to almost every airport in the union. I see white people at airports, poor areas, small airports, large airports. It's status quo. When I go to airports that have an influx of black employees, asinine how ghetto, trashy, and weird it is. We just came from Birmingham. Birmingham is full of black people. The woman that's booking us on the flight at the ticket, she's loud, she obnoxious, she's ghetto, she doesn't enunciate her words, she's talking slang. I just was like, this is so unprofessional. How do you have a job with American Airlines? Now, I wouldn't dare say this to her because I don't want to hurt her feelings, but it was embarrassing. White folks are watching her. I told y'all to get on that thing over there. Get over there. Let me tell y'all, I said, oh my God, this is an airlines. This is us checking in with our tickets. None of this is necessary. And I'm not trying to push the racial thing. I just wish black people do better, man. And I don't know if they can, because everywhere I go where there's a ton of black people, it's always drama. It's always drama. I just see why white people have a problem with black people sometimes.
Now, guys, this is an interesting one. I know I'm a little late to the party, but for those of you who don't know, he said carnivore, right? Carnival Cruise has been cracking down on their policies and whatnot, which we're about to get into here shortly in reference to the Bluetooth speakers, loud noise, other stuff like that. And people are saying that they're targeting specifically black folks because black folks are doing this. So I just want to speak on, first of all, officer.
Everybody has a right to enjoy their vacation. It's not all about you, especially when you go on a cruise ship. Imagine if we brought the rodeo to the fucking cruise ship. Motherfucker out there, I don't know, man. This shit's crazy.
Sir Tatum, I know he's very popular, right-wing type guy. He has a huge white following, if you will, because he does speak directly in reference to the right-wing side of things, and specifically talking about black people a lot of times and what they're doing. And me as well. I'm half black, half white, for those of you who don't know. I'm very critical of black people, and I do want black folks to do better. But obviously a channel like his and a channel like mine, some people would say it's race baiting, you're trying to be divisive, things like that. Even though with his channel, they'll say he's speaking the truth. He's not.
To give you guys an overview of the incident from the weekend. First of all, I think it's very important that everybody understands we had well over 150,000 people in the downtown area this weekend.
Are you wanting to come up,
We
Slay
had a
back?
major Big Three basketball tournament at the arena. We had a Reds game with large crowds, and we had the Cincinnati Music Festival. Wonderful, wonderful events for this city and all the people who attended it. Unfortunately, we had one incident late Friday night into Saturday morning.
Slay back. I didn't know if you was wanting to come up or not. Are you wanting to
Yeah.
stay or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. I'll
All
say.
right.
So basically, they're fucking covering this shit up, but it was fucking two, like middle-aged white people, and they got fucking
Right.
jumped
Oh, no shit.
in the middle of like downtown Cincinnati, like. Shit,
Bro, and I
fucking-
don't get me wrong now. I do not have a problem with anybody what color they are, right? But you gotta act fucking
fair.
civilized, and Yeah, you got to think about other people, man. It ain't all about you. And I'm telling you, that last cruise we was on during the summer, it almost made me not want to go back. See,
So,
we
this was
just
the other
hung
way
out in the
around,
room.
if this was the other way around, we'd be having fucking riots in the street.
Let me ask you this: how many people have been have had hate crimes in the black sector for hurting white people? Where they've been jumped, where they jump white people or something? How many of them has been charged with a hate crime?
Oh, they haven't. And
I've never heard of
thing
one.
about this fucking police chief is trying to fucking cover this up as it was like not racially motive against these people or whatever. But play that, watch it. It's fucking crazy.
That is getting all the attention and undoing the good stuff that happened this weekend.
I don't like her freaking tone. Yeah. I don't like how she's framing what happened. Yeah. And those incidents that happened prior to this incident has nothing to do with what happened. I don't even know why you brought it up. Oh, everything was beautiful this weekend, but everybody wants to talk about this one incident. I mean, you sound stupid. It sounds like she's trying to say Cincinnati was mostly peaceful. Yeah. You know what? I smell a Democrat. I smell a DEI hire too. Yeah, got a new show for y'all. Got a damn good show. Before we get to today's video, don't forget about our new giveaway. Ford 250 King Ranch and camper and 10,000 cold hard American.
I'd take that truck. They'd
If you
keep
ain't
that
win, just go
goddamn
to my
camper though.
website, officialhorsetwins.com. Anything you buy on the site, like my coffee, get you automatically in it to win. Well, Cincinnati is a blue area. Yeah, dark blue. But I can smell the Democrat coming off the way she's framing this whole situation. Yeah, I would never understand a female chief over police. And look at this, how they word this. You can't see it. Full press of Cincinnati police chief gives update on violent downtown brawl that went viral. No, that was attack. Yeah. There was only one side that was trying to fight. Yeah. It was a hate crime too. I'm not saying all women can't become a police chief or have leadership, but a vast majority of women shouldn't be in the positions they are in. They got those jobs because they were given to them because they are women. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the incident that you're well aware of that occurred at 4th and Elm. I, like many, woke up Saturday morning to the video. The incident occurred. We got our first call at 3:06 a.m. First officers were on the scene at 3:12 a.m. Based on the body cam footage that I've watched, that response time is completely acceptable because the downtown area still had traffic congestion from all of the events.
All right, we get that. Nobody's denying that. Get to what happened.
Upon arrival, the fight was over with.
That was not a fight. That was an attack. It's a fight when both sides both are participating. Right? Both of them got their hands up. Yeah. Those people are trying to flee.
The fight was over with when the officers arrived.
Fight.
And the majority of the participants were gone. The officers did exactly what they are trained to do. They gathered information from the victims that were still at the scene.
Yeah, because they were knocked out. They were brutalized. Yeah. Automatically, if these people that
the
got
woman
brutalized were black,
was
automatically this would be a hate
like
crime.
a man.
Automatically,
and
because
knocked her
black
split the
people,
fuck out.
LGBTQ.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of this. I hadn't seen this.
And she
Other
was trying
minorities
to
will protect the cat.
help the guy. She didn't even know the guy, I don't think.
Wow.
It's crazy.
But when is enough? When is enough white people going to be attacked by black people before they start putting hate crimes back on them? And I think I asked this question a few months back when I kind of briefly mentioned the little white boy that got killed by all the black.
Yeah, I remember
I think
that.
there were 5 or 6 black guys that fucking killed the little white boy just because he was white. No hate crime.
Yep.
Crazy,
Yep.
man.
But I used to do
white people.
security down there downtown, for the
Right.
Duke Energy Convention Center.
Mhm.
And dude, it used to get scary down there, man. Like,
Oh, I'm sure. And see, they let it, but see, there is no real consequences behind them, behind their
oh, I know.
actions. They get away with the shit, and until they start charging them equally, if it was white people that did that, if it was 10 or 15 white people that jumped a black couple or whatever happened down here in Cincinnati, it would have went totally the other way. It'd be all over the
Yep.
fucking news, and they hate crime out the ass. They'd be getting an electric chair. It's crazy.
Did you realize you're not a protected class? This should automatically be a hate crime. Automatically. You know what's even more pathetic? It's coming from a white police chief. Yep.
To complete an offense report.
Let me tell you something. If I was the police chief, would I do a presser in front of a picture of me on the wall? I wouldn't be that stupid to do that. It's like she put the cameras, let's do it right here, because it validates her picture's on the wall. Yeah, it validates who I am as a police chief.
I will tell you, at this time, we have victims and suspects identified,
Here we go.
and we have charged 5 people in this
Now we're talking.
offense. I'm not going to release that information to you.
What? She's not going to release the people arrested for this because they're a protected class of people. That's why she's doing it. Why do you have a right to
Fucking
privacy
crazy.
when you participate in a
Yeah,
violent
no, that
crime
should
in
be-
public? Why are we giving them the benefit?
That should have been released right away because it's not okay. It is not fucking okay. It's not okay either way. It's not okay for white people to do it to black people. It's not okay for black people to do it to white people. Just because of color.
Sheriff Grady would have had them motherfuckers plastered. You know what I mean? He'd had a fucking full rap sheet on all of them, showing all
I
of them.
guarantee it. I guarantee
That's
it.
5. Now they charged 5 people, right? So they
Right.
say, and that was like a man that was in like his, I'd say his early 50s, and a woman about the same age. So 5 people beat the fuck out of him. I'm talking like was
Damn.
stomping them on the ground and shit. There's video clips of it. I don't think they showed the video clips of it, but it they
They
tell
liable
you,
to.
you know,
Th-
they give you
These
the
dudes is
info
liable
about
to.
they give you the info about, you know, how the fucking news is covering the shit up.
Why are we giving them? Why are we protecting their rights? Their privacy. Why? Because Cincinnati is a blue city, and this police chief is woke. That's why. This is why that city is falling apart. No accountability. Yep. Y'all should. This press conference should show them going through the perk walk, and y'all should be escalating this to a hate crime. That's what y'all should be doing. But so far, it seems like you're just deflecting, and you worry more about the people that participate in the crime than the actual victims.
I will say, if individuals were down there and participated in this event, it would be in their best interest to come turn themselves in at one of our police districts. We have 5 we have charged and anticipate more. Let me be clear. Anyone who put their hands on another individual during this incident in an attempt to cause harm will face consequences.
But I come back in kindergarten, and my damn kindergarten.
I'm trying to find it right now.
Yeah. You should be, these police chiefs.
Give me a second.
Should be dropping a hammer right now. This
I'll
whole
send it-
press conference should be
Put it in
showing
chat.
mug shots, going over the individuals responsible for this, their names. You should be sharing their criminal histories if they got anything. Right. Exactly who they are. I mean, we cancel people quicker on TikTok than what the police are doing. I mean, as soon as someone does something crazy online on TikTok, everybody knows that person's name. We even know their address. But no, we have these thugs beating up this couple. They're protecting their privacy. They're protecting their names, where they live or who they are, and they don't even disclose that information. That's backwards.
Very backwards.
I don't care which side of the incident or the fight they were on. If they
Wasn't a
place
fight.
their hands on somebody in an attempt to cause harm, that is unacceptable.
What's unacceptable is you're not releasing any names. Yeah. And not to mention, this video, they turn off the comments. They don't even believe in freedom of speech. Yeah, this news says the comments are off. Yeah, they don't even believe in freedom of speech. That's how woke this police department is. That's how woke that area is.
Hey, I found it.
You right now out to Cincinnati, and many of you might have seen some videos circulating on social media about a major brawl over the weekend there. There's a post from the New York Post saying a disturbing video showing a woman knocked out cold by a jeering crowd in the wild Cincinnati street brawl. We're hearing from officials now on the ground in Ohio. Let's listen into this.
6 a.m. First officers were on the scene at 3:12 a.m.
Very out of fucking control.
Based on the body cam footage that I've watched, that response time is
Listen, if you are allowed to carry a firearm, please do so.
Yep.
Protect yourself at all times. You cannot depend on the police to protect you, because they're not going to. They're not fucking going to.
completely acceptable because the downtown area still had traffic congestion from all of the events.
Let's see if we can find the fight, though.
Upon arrival, the fight was over with.
Because they showed
The fight was over with when the officers arrived.
Oh, they didn't show it.
Yeah, I just
And
had
the
it. I
majority-
just had it.
Gone.
Yeah, they didn't show it in there. All they did was fucking.
Type in couple gets attacked in Cincinnati.
All right. I'm gonna let this play while I do it, though. Hold on a second. Damn, I didn't even realize I quit sharing the other shit there. Let's see if it'll fucking play it. It may not be going to play it. Slayback. It's got a play button, but it ain't going to play it. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, and it looks like a fifth person standing around them right there. Look like there's blood already on the ground too, right there. I don't know though. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna play it. Slayback. It won't let me. I'm trying
Here,
to play
hold
it,
on.
but it won't play it.
Hold on, I got it. I got to find the fucking comments.
Yeah.
Back chat. Here we go. Try that one.
No.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of painting my garage.
Right.
painting this motherfucker black.
Oh shit. Oh, I hear it. I can't.
Disturbing video. It's going viral on X. It shows a crowd beating a man and then a woman on the streets of Cincinnati, Ohio. Here's how it started. And again, this is a tough watch.
Oh, they kicking him all in the head and everything.
All right, and as if that wasn't brutal enough, the next clip shows a man knock a woman out. It's unbelievable. Watch. It's also disturbing. Everything around it, from the carnival atmosphere, the cheering on, the cursing, and of course, the violence. It's so disturbing it got the attention of Vice President J.D. Vance. He said this when asked about it during a stop in Ohio today.
Is you had a grown man who sucker punched a middle-aged woman. That person ought to go to jail for a very long time. And frankly, he's lucky there weren't some better people around because they would have handled it themselves. And the only way to destroy that street violence is to take the thugs who engage in that violence and throw their in prison.
Bingo.
All right, police have identified 4 potential suspects so far. But one of the most disturbing parts of this, as I mentioned, is how many people just stood around, watched, not calling 911. What country? I can see what city. I know what state. What country are we living in? Joining me now is Ken Kober, president of Cincinnati's Fraternal Order of Police. And I appreciate you being here with us. And it's not to insult your city.
Yeah, they
but
stomped the
this
shit
is
out of him.
intolerable. It doesn't belong on any American street. It honestly doesn't belong in any civilized society. And I saw a quote by you, Ken, where you said,
if that was
what
my
you
wife
see in this video
and me,
and the behavior on there is people that fear no repercussions.
Yeah, somebody would be dead. Straight up.
yo, fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd be on the front page.
Just tell me why they would fear no repercussions.
And why is a woman stomping him
Cincinnati
anyway?
and Hamilton counties are really at a crossroads. What kind of city and county do we want to be? Because right now you have about half the judges that support law and order, and then you have half of them that just don't, that are being the cashless bail, the soft on crime. And this is a result of that. I mean, these people fear no consequences. And until that changes, unfortunately, we're going to see more things like this.
There's so many different, honestly, beyond the law and order element of this, Ken, and there is a law and order element of this. I know that 911, they may have received one call during this when you can see there's dozens, if not hundreds of people around the incident. But there's also so many cultural implications going on here. I don't know. I don't know how you were raised. I can tell you this. Any situation, A, where a man hits a woman, or B, where 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 10 guys are ganging up on one, nobody involved in that is tough. Nobody involved in that is a man. And it says something rotten about any culture that produces individuals who
That's
think
fucking
somehow
crazy,
this
dude.
is tough.
That's
These
fucking
people clearly
crazy.
have no morals. They have no morals. They don't care about themselves. They don't care about others. And this is certainly a problem that we're seeing time and time again. And it's something that is just disgusting. We saw the worst that Cincinnati has to offer that morning.
And they wondering why people want to build homes and have white neighbors. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's like,
No.
holy shit.
Some people
I don't
might
blame
think
the
that. Some people might think that that's a bad part of the neighborhood or whatever. That's downtown Cincinnati. That's like right down by the stadium.
Right, where people
it's
should be
not-
safe, where they're drawing
Yeah.
people to spend their money and shit. Yeah. It's
Yeah, I mean, there was
fucking
a big,
ridiculous, man.
a big music festival.
And that dude didn't just get beat up; he got fucking stomped.
Yeah. Like they said, there was thousands
Hey,
of
Susie
people.
Q, what it's going to take? Yeah. Well, listen. So that's piss poor police planning
Yeah.
for events is what that is, because there's cops staged everywhere and people should be funneled through. You know what I mean? Just like they do in Jacksonville. When you come to Jacksonville and go to them events, they guide you where you're gonna park at, and their security's all around. That way that shit don't happen. I blame Cincinnati Police Department for most of this right here, for letting it go on.
Well, they used to have a.
They should have been patrols out there. You know what I mean? It shouldn't have took 6.
So down there,
A horse
there's
patrol?
no, they were on segways at one time. Down there, there's a street. It's called Vine Street. And back when I was in my heyday of doing scandalous shit, Vine Street was a motherfucker. Like, you couldn't, if you were white, you shouldn't be on Vine Street, right?
Right.
Well, I had people that I hung with that hung on Vine Street on a stoop in front of an abandoned fucking building. Well, they had a task force that they had down there, and they would fucking take over. They took over the street and was pushing all that crime and shit back. And then they built like these big high-rise condos and shit down there. And then they fired them all during COVID. So now the fucking shit's coming back to
Rampant,
take back
right?
over. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad shit's what it is.
And
Yeah,
look,
I mean-
it's our job to
This
tell the
shit
truth,
went on
and
for a long
the truth
time, it
requires you
looked
to
like,
state
man.
the obvious. There is
Yeah,
a racial
like
component to what we're
Cotton
watching on
Eye
the screen
Joe
right now.
fucking-
The two victims on the screen appear to be white.
Stop
Most
them
of the assailants
motherfuckers.
appear to be black.
The tune of Cotton Eye
And
Joe.
if
I mean,
we
that
played the
was
game of
wrong.
reversing this, and we have in some instances, there would be a national outcry and rage about the races involved in this incident. But here we have it reversed, and it asks some serious questions about us as a society.
Sure. Yeah, these investigators are certainly looking into that as being a component of why this occurred. And that's yet to be determined, I believe. But I mean, you look at it at face value and certainly could understand why you would draw that conclusion.
Well, it's at this point, I don't know what conclusions are to be drawn, but to ask some very serious questions and to be
They trying to
irresponsible
fuck
not
that
to ask
dude
those
up.
questions out of fear of invoking race, when this is what we're watching happening on the streets of Cincinnati, and I don't care where you live, I was just talking to somebody that works here, Ken. I don't know that this would happen on the streets of Texas. It might not, but there would be someone step in. And there's a lot of people armed in the state of Texas or many other states across this country. They don't have to wait for the police. I don't know what's going on in Ohio.
No, you're right. And if there would have been some better people that were part of that, it probably would have ended differently. But it just shows you that whole mob mentality. That's exactly what we saw. And I wish there would have been one person in the crowd that decided that they were going to step in and actually, be an adult, be a man, and not allow something like this to happen.
Yeah,
You said it
and
right.
then if
It's
they would have
mob
fucking shot
mentality. It takes
somebody, they
courage
would have
and
been like,
bravery
"Oh
to step
my
up
God,
against a
they're
mob.
horrible."
It takes zero to be
Oh,
part of
yeah,
the mob.
most definitely.
And unfortunately, we're run short on that courage and bravery right now.
Well, that's because like people on the fucking train in New York, they got charged with that dude's murder. That wasn't he going off trying to stab people or some shit, and they stepped in and he fucking ended up
Yep.
dying. And they tried to charge him for it. So you can't blame really strangers for not wanting to interfere, because they're liable to face charges behind it. But I mean, you damned if you do and damned if you don't.
That's the problem with, if you carry and well, if you had your concealed weapons license, we don't need them anymore up this way because it's a constitutional carry. But that's in that training, they teach you how to, you got to make a fucking, like a quick decision, whether it's life or death for you or somebody else. And if you're going to take that shot, that could be your fucking life in prison, depending on
Yeah.
how it's seen.
Yeah, no doubt. There's been a few people that's tried to step up, and when they do, they
I mean-
fucking get smacked for it.
The biggest one was Kyle Rittenhouse, whether you want to look at it as that was kind of the same thing, but it is. he used his weapon to defend himself.
What's up, Rusty?
What's up, Uncle Will? How you doing, man?
Holy shit!
Just looking at all this racist shit on the internet. How you doing this morning?
Whoa.
What it is, bro. You can't ask brutally honest, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What do you think about him? How long you been watching?
Oh, I creep just about every time you're on, man.
Oh, dude.
So I've been watching for
you
a
see
little
me
bit,
make
yeah.
ass and you see me make ass out of myself every day, then evidently.
Yeah, kind of. It's all right though.
I don't give a fuck, Rusty. You know I don't. Hey, what do you think about them building white and black neighborhoods? You see any problem with it?
I think if you really want diversity, that's probably not what you want to do. But ultimately, I think that a lot of that, and just again, if people who scream about diversity and equality and shit like that, generally the people who are pushing and screaming all that stuff are it's just another form of racism by pointing the finger at you, is really what it comes down to. Is you're claiming that there's an inequality or, something that's tipped the scales in the other direction and they feel slighted. Therefore, they want you to overcompensate. and then you get to where we're at right now, talking about building it. I mean, if you want segregation, just, segregate yourself, but just understand that you are what you're screaming about. You are definitely a racist if you look at shit like that.
That's a good point. See, that's a good point. Myself, I don't really see anything wrong with people grouping together. But the reality of it is we all need one another. But we got to act fucking civilized, man. And like I was saying earlier about when they killed that little kid, nobody got accused for a hate crime. If that would have been the other way around, they'd have the gallows out. And I think it is unfair in some instances that I guess the more they let them get away with it, the worse it's going to be, is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I mean, it's when you say you're talking about like the political machine that is our justice system.
Right.
And the thing about it is that's one of the worst parts about it is, like your prosecutors are politically elected. They're elected officials. And that is in itself a problem, because now if you would like to remain, in good graces of the public, right, you're going to have to be bending to that will instead of doing what's right. So there's this outside influence to be, you can be bought. I mean, really, that's what it comes down to. If you're an elected prosecutor, you're an elected prosecutor, you can be bought because now it's a political thing.
Right.
And then, so this is why you may see that, that we take a tougher stance on this crime and that crime. And it's bullshit. If justice is supposed to be applied evenly, if we just go back to the root idea behind having a justice system, you're supposed to apply things evenly. And it doesn't work that way because if you're tougher on this crime or that crime, or you look the other way on certain shit, it doesn't become justice anymore, right? It just becomes a selective process of what you would like to become outraged about. And, I'm like, dude, I tune so much of this shit out in my real life because it's fucking nonsense. It really is. And I've come to this realization a long time ago about anything that's political, anything that has to do with your government, police, all that shit. Every last bit of it is corrupt. All right. And it's all just a facade out there. And it's a false sense of security. Like this shit that you and Slayback are talking about right here. Like these people got brutalized, right, by a mob out there. And, people are talking about all just, the police and all this shit. You are responsible for your own safety. You are.
Very
and
true.
Then there's a lot of people out there who get to this, well, we have too many guns and we have too much of this and we have too much. No, listen, you have one life. Okay. Once that shit stops and it can be taken from you, You have that responsibility, and it puts people in a lot. I've heard you guys talking about it. You started to talk about the whole, hey, if you have to defend yourself in a situation, you could lose the rest of your life by saving your life, depending on how an elected prosecutor looks at what you did. So, I mean, you know, with these situations, I look at it like this, man. It's just, you have to be prudent. You have to be a prudent individual and protect yourself at all times. To me, like this kind of shit, being downtown,
I wouldn't be there.
I would fucking, no, hell no. I'd be nowhere near this shit. There's nothing there for me. Absolutely nothing there for me. So
I bet that motherfucker got jumped will think about it next time. I bet he don't go back down there either.
Well, he's a fucking idiot for being there. And then you take your wife there, and then you do. I mean, dude, if you care about anything, like, listen, if you love your wife or whatever the woman was to him that got knocked out or whatever that shit was, look, you can find other things to do, right? You don't need to go down there in the middle of this shit. Everybody with fucking any kind of common sense realizes it's an absolute fucking shit show.
Mm-hmm. Especially that late at night.
Yeah,
Especially
the nightlife,
3 o'clock in the morning.
Any of it, man. Dude, you could be down there at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, it gets wild.
Dude, there's so many murders that happen in the city of Cincinnati, and you don't even hear about it. Like a guy I went to school with, a pretty prominent musician around here, was just murdered over there in February. And he lived over there. A 17-year-old kid shot him in the back, robbing him. And it just, hey, 50 years old, dead and gone, dude. And a pretty chill dude, like was like an actual artist, a musician, a lifelong musician. Chill dude, was just over there because he was into that scene, lived over in that area, and fucking lost his life. That's what goes on, right? And I mean, and it's shit like that. There's no fucking outrage. There's no video coverage. There's, he got a little bit of a fucking news blip, and that was it. But then the Hodge twins didn't talk about it. None of that shit. Nobody gave a fuck. But his life is over with right now.
And he paid the same fucking price as anybody else got killed. I got you.
Yeah, it is what it is. And now he was shot by a 17-year-old black kid. Does that matter? No, I don't think so. But the problem with it is that you have these areas, right, where there's little to no opportunity for kids coming up. None. The first thing the police are out there to do is to get these kids in the system. You can get them on a jaywalking ticket, get them on a fucking weed charge, get them on anything they can to get them in the system, because then this creates this cyclic effect where you're in and out. You can't pay the fine. Oh, well, guess what? We'll let you out on OR, but then you're going to have a warrant, and then you're hiding from this warrant, and then that compounds into other shit. You know how this stuff goes.
Yep.
And I mean, that's really what it does, because that system in of itself, you've been to jail. It's an industry as well. Right. And we just feed that industry with people. So, I mean, you got to think about it. I know a lot about that town and what shit. If you can afford to live in Cincinnati, you can afford to move out of it. You can afford to move out of it. So,
yeah,
and I mean, go ahead, Bill.
Since living in Cincinnati would be about like living in Chicago.
Yeah, it's similar.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I should. I mean, I wonder what the fuck do you do about it though? What's the answer to it? To stop the shit? Just don't have fucking events down there no more.
No, well, the thing, you just can't. I mean, just don't go to events. You can try to hold the events all you want. But if it becomes a point in time where it's too dangerous for normal, sane people to attend them, then those are the people that have money.
Right. Yeah.
So
the problem is life is so fucking cheap to these people. You know what I mean? Because like you say, they don't have no opportunities and shit. So they don't really have anything going for them. And they're about forced into doing it is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, it gets to a point like, okay, this time of year, it's fucking 90 degrees up until the sun goes down.
Right.
You got people living over there who don't. There's no, like, most places don't have any air conditioning. You know, there's a lot of, it's a luxury for a lot of people. So you're kind of forced outside. And then, so once you're into the outside, there's a bunch of people who are just like you with no opportunities, no drive system, right? Hey, I got shit I got to do and get done. I don't have any property upkeep. I don't have a job to go to tomorrow. I don't have any current goals that I'm working on in life. So I got a lot of idle time on my hands. And with that idle time comes some mischief, right? So okay. So what do you want? Oh, I'm going to go hang out with my buddies. We're going to do the same thing every fucking day. But the point is I have no place to direct any good energy. I have no direction to go and try to get a positive outcome for myself. So then you just have a bunch of people with no opportunity hanging out. And this is kind of what you see on street corners.
Yeah. And then one with the desire to prove that he's top dog. And then the next thing you know, they're fucking killing somebody.
Yeah. You get young men, egos. Go ahead, Slayback. Sorry.
It got a little bit better when they had that task force down there on Vine. And
yeah, but that's what he's saying. That's what he's saying, though. That's how they deal with it, is by locking them up and not giving them an opportunity. We got to do something different besides just putting them in jail.
They should have known that if they fucking fired all the cops that were down there pushing the shit back, it's just going to fucking open the flood. Because Vine Street used to be a motherfucker. And then they did that, and they fucking built all kinds of condos and shit down there. And I would imagine it's probably fucking shithole again.
Mm.
I used to work at that fucking Kroger's down there too.
Yeah, well, in terms of that, if it's a good place to interject, they had an issue here pretty recently where they have an area where people deal drugs, basically. And the answer to this basically open air drug market is because it was taking place underneath a bridge. And basically these dudes would hang out under the bridge, set up shop, cars would pull up. So their answer to this was to put up temporary parking barriers to where they couldn't have access to pull up under the bridge.
Mm. Yeah. Putting a Band-Aid on shit. That's what they're doing.
Not even. It's a slight inconvenience, and not just completely discounting the will of a person who's in active addiction, right? To get what they need. Oh, hey, honey, guess what? We can't get high tonight. They've got parking barriers up.
Yeah, that shit ain't done.
Right. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh shit.
But that's a government thing for you, man. That's what you get.
Yeah, I remember that fucking park down that way. It used to be the fucking
I'm gonna
spot
tell
where
you.
everybody would go.
Hey, so when I was young, I had a warrant, was on the run. I ran all the way from Florida, and I got caught in South Bend, Indiana. Well, they put me on the back of that fucking TransCore van, and they took me from county jail to county jail. And I'm telling you, when we went to go pick somebody up from Cleveland to take them down south, it was a cultural shock when I seen it. Because you had to go inside. They would leave you 24 hours while they took their break inside whatever jail they were picking up at. So you kind of got to mingle with the fucking prisoners there. And I'm going to tell you, it was a fucking culture shock for me, for sure. It was wild.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Cleveland's a whole nother monster.
Yeah, I just turned on the chat. Hey, hello to all the people who said hello to me. I'm sorry. I just now moved it from the private chat. Thank you. So there you go. Sorry, I didn't have anything to say.
Yeah, Cincinnati is to Indianapolis, same way. You know what I mean? It's just, it was a fucking culture shock. I was like, yeah, I better stay my ass down south.
Yeah. Yeah. Indy's pretty rough too.
Like that was caveman type shit. I'm not kidding.
Outside, there ain't no caves there, man.
No, but I'm saying the fucking bars on the walls and shit. It was what I mean. What I mean about it. Yeah, what I mean is like old style shit. Like
dudes throwing shit and all that.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
fucking all the
animals.
cells was bars. Yeah, literally like cages at the fucking zoo with bars straight up and down through the whole place. It wasn't like different dorms where you could be broke off. It was so loud in that motherfucker. The paint was peeling off the wall. It was nasty. It was fucking dirtiest jail I ever been in my life. And one thing about jails, usually they make the prisoners clean up, right? And to get out of your room, you're willing to do it. So usually jails are pretty fucking clean for the most part. Not there.
That's nice.
Oh, I know, Christy. I've been ignoring your guys' comments, wanting me to go live.
Everywhere where you go, that's what they say.
Yeah, and I know. And look, I'm just
well,
I'm
you
taking a little
entertaining
break.
as fuck. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm just taking a break from this stupid shit. I'm going to I'm gonna do something. Obviously, I can't bring myself to talk about this stupid shit because a lot of it, to me, I ain't gonna say too much about it. It's just become fake as fuck, and it's on a whole new level of fake, just fuckery shit. And with that, Unc, I want to thank you as in person as I possibly can for all the kind shit that you did say on my behalf.
Yeah,
with when all that stuff was going on, man. So I mean, you, Jackrabbit, Slayback here, some of the realest motherfuckers on here, dude, and I definitely do appreciate you. You know,
we
but
appreciate
I mean,
you, bro.
Yeah, my take on this whole fucking thing, and from Ryan on down, it's changed, and I understand it's probably going to piss a lot of people off, but when I'm ready, I'll put something together and I'll do it. But I've just seen a lot of shit that I ain't going to unsee.
Right, exactly. I know where you're coming from, homie. Trust me, I do. Trust me, and it's wild to watch, but. With that being said, you're a hell of an entertainer and you've always been straightforward. And I appreciate your opinion. A lot of times I might be thinking about something in a totally different way and I listen to the way you explain it. And it's like I come to a new realization. I was like, okay, well, there's more to it. You know what I mean? A different way of thinking about it. And I appreciate that.
Well,
thank you. He has that effect.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot of people's opinion that I fucking trust. And I may not still agree with you on it, but I see it from a different angle. And that's important. You know, your communication skills is very, very good. And I think that's what the people appreciate about you the most, you know. You're really entertaining.
Well, thank you. Like I said, I don't personally value what I have to say as much as some other people do. Because I mean, I live with me all the time. So I don't,
right.
You know, it's just
right,
me being real and keeping honest. Right. Yeah, as far as that stuff, Christiane, I like stuff like this. I don't mind getting on here and having a discussion with people. It doesn't bother me. It's the other part is like, dude, you got to dumb yourself way down to deal with some of these fucking mental as far as like I peeked in on the Carl shit, and I'll drop a comment every now and again, man. But this dude,
it's stupid. There's no helping that idiot.
It's fucking draining. To listen to this dude rant and he like, where does he get the energy? And this is kind of what I was talking about with the idle hand shit, right? If this dude had something constructive in his life to pour himself into, he wouldn't be on here worried about this shit. He really wouldn't, right? He just wouldn't be. There would be so much other shit to do. If you are the fucking chosen one, dude, I think the question would have been answered.
Exactly.
And what I don't understand what a 33, 34-year-old fucking country rapper fits into the fucking universe of being chosen or the Mashiach, or it's fucking nonsense.
Well, I've been trying to get him connected with the Hammer of God so they can keep each other entertained.
I don't. I think you guys are. I think you guys are fucking up encouraging that shit. I really don't. I would not play any more of that weirdos videos. That fucking dude he went to the gate, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't like this. Don't fucking encourage. Do not. That's like one of the last things you should do. Because here's
how somebody dies. To be honest with you, that's how somebody dies.
The dude's probably going to end up getting killed. Is what's going to happen. And it might be cool for some fucking YouTube fucking whatever he's, but I wouldn't fucking encourage this dude at all. No, I wouldn't be in his fucking comments. I wouldn't talk to him.
just
Carl's
thought it
got a
was
certain
convenient
look
that
in his eye. Listen to me, Slayback. Carl's got a certain look in his eye that you could tell he's full of shit. That other nut over there really believes it. And that motherfucker's liable to act on something, do something dumb.
I don't comment in his fucking chat. I just think
Well,
it would be convenient for Carl to talk to him because they both say the same fucking shit.
I was going to try to bring him up on StreamYard and talk to him, and then I thought about it. Once he answered me, I was like, nah, let me go delete that comment. I just deleted it. I was like, nah.
Yeah,
They both were sent from God to save the children. And it involves Ryan Upchurch. They can have their conversations together. We can just let them play.
Saving children from your fucking computer. I got it. Yeah, that whole thing. Like, I think I might have spoke on this earlier. Like, it's been a while, but like Carl, like I was one of his very first like 50 fucking subscribers. And I would just kind of watch this dude and I wouldn't speak about him. And I was legit like thinking this dude was like a security threat until I kind of just watched and I've seen that it's just basically like a side loaded cloud chase is what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I really like, because some of the shit he's talking about, it's like off the top. And I was like, dude, what the fuck, man? You know, and then I just seen it, then it just became you know, like, here and there talking to him, but never really encouraging him. Every once in a while I'll pop in his chat and just see how he's doing, you know, but I mean, I've watched little me try to have a conversation with this dude. And the minute you get him on panel with you, he starts fucking like if you don't agree with him 100%, it becomes a session where he just berates you and then calls you all these fucking, you know, salacious terms about, you know, fucking calling you a pedoprotector and all that. Like, dude, I'd kill a goddamn fucking pedophile. Like with my fucking bare hands, you know, and you're sitting there telling people, like people who have families and children that they've gone through great lengths to fucking provide for and protect, and you're calling them shit like this. You know, I overlook that stuff because I realize what he's doing. But, you know, there's a certain level of, if you look at that at face value, dude, I mean, you're just like, nah, this motherfucker's just playing games on here. And this is what I spoke about before. You're using shit like this for your own benefit for fucking YouTube. This is why he's on here every goddamn day.
Right.
So sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're absolutely, you're absolutely correct though. And, I've noticed a change in just the way he presents himself now. Have you noticed that from like a year ago to now? He presents himself totally different. He still goes off fucking topic, but he's not stupid is what I'm saying. He knows exactly what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah, he's a lot wiser and brighter than he leads on to be. A lot of that is an act.
Mm-hmm. Bro, did you see you probably already aware of it because you keep up with shit like that, but I had never seen their drug problem there. That is out of fucking control.
Who, Canada?
Yeah, man. That shit is out of control.
Yeah.
I would never go there. I'm a nature person. I love fucking nature. You could take me, you know what I mean? As long as I got food and what I need, I'll never leave the woods. And I've always wanted to go to like Canada, and especially after we got off the cruise there, and we was only there for like 3 hours. But it's beautiful fucking country. But once I seen that shit, hell no. I don't want nothing to do with that shit. But I guess maybe all the drug addicts are downtown, but they were lined up they give them fucking money to buy the shit, dude.
Well, yeah. So it's pretty close to socialism, what they're working with there. Spending somebody else's money.
Mm-hmm. We don't want to fucking be part of Canada. Everybody hollering the fucking whatever state it would be. I was like, fuck no, after I seen that shit, we don't want no Canada.
Nah, these dudes, like, anytime that people get together and they think that that's a great idea, like merging countries and cultures and shit, they don't assimilate very well. And this is like, and it kind of goes, well, I don't want to get sidetracked on this shit, but if you think back to every conflict that we've ever been in military wise in the sandbox, we're talking about installing democracy. in places that does not that are barely with the times of this century. So, I mean, you have people wiping their ass with their own hand for religious reasons. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of fucking shit that I'm not going to pollute your channel with. But we sell this idea to the American public to go run military equipment over there and do our operations under the guise of installing a democracy, right? It doesn't work.
Hey, Rusty, I've always thought we ought to stay out of other countries' fucking business. It doesn't pertain to us. It doesn't hurt us directly. Stay the fuck out of it. And,
yeah, but
you know, just like with Russia,
yeah, good.
Right. But just like with Russia, see, once I listened to that Kennedy Jr. dude and what he was talking about as far as Putin, it made me realize Putin probably ain't a bad fucking dude like everybody tries to make him out to be. He was forced to go into Ukraine. In the United Nations, put them IBMs right there, and it was what, a 3-minute launch from fucking his downtown, somewhere in Soviet Union or whatever. And here we are funding fucking Ukraine, and we're trying to befriend this dude over here too. And Putin, I mean, it just is. It makes it harder on us the more we get in. Am I wrong?
No. Well, the only thing I disagree with you on is who Putin is as a person. He's not a good person. Right. As far as the lineup of that conflict and what we're being sold on it, yeah. I mean, it's a chess game, and they're putting weapons right at his front door. So they don't, you know, I understand that. Like, you don't want to have, you're at that point, you become at the mercy of other people. If, you know, if Ukraine is in NATO, we can park nukes right there. So, and yeah, Putin, he has to stand his ground. You know, I mean, there's no getting around it. I think anybody understands that.
Well, what I was saying was we kind of forced him, is what I was getting at. We kind of forced him into going into Ukraine, in a sense.
Well, yeah, that when they were talking about putting them in NATO, yeah. Yeah, because then that just gives them the group military power, but right. and it's a really pussified way that America's just sidetracking an offense on Russia. Basically, is what it comes down to. Is if we were directly saying, "Hey, look, you know, like we play like we are militarily. Oh, we're going to come right over here and we're going to do this to you, and there's nothing. No, we're going to use Ukraine as a buffer." And it's just pussy shit is what it comes down to. We fucking launder a bunch of money through fucking Ukraine. It's a big nasty fucking cesspool. We have an invested interest in it.
Right.
So, you know, but as far as that goes, yeah, Putin has every right to protect himself from something like that. And he did, and he has bucked on them before and taken things from them because that is just who he is. But as a leader of the Russian people, he has that duty to protect them.
Well, when Ukraine was part of Russia at one time, right? What happened there?
I think so. Yeah, I think there was some separation as when it was all the USSR and they broke off little pieces of it and all that shit. I don't know exactly the geographical layout of it, but I do know that when that union was dissolved, Ukraine was part of it.
Yeah. See, that to me, that kind of would, if I was him, it'd piss me off even more. You know what I mean? It'd make it even that much more worse.
Yeah, but to be a good leader, he shouldn't really be pissed about it. I mean, the thing, he should be doing things based on strategy and needs instead of like personal investments in it. Like, I have no problem with Russia defending themselves, and but I realize this whole thing in Ukraine, it's all funded by us. It's 100% right. Just a proxy war that we're funding, and it's really a disservice to Ukrainians if you think about it, because we're just using their flesh. And we don't have anything to lose, you know, like, fuck, we print money. So what, nobody worked for
right.
Right. So what skin in the game do we actually have?
None.
Yeah.
None.
And that's the problem with it. It's just like, if you're really into like human rights violations and shit, you know, people should be upset about that. But no, it's a flesh trade is what it comes into. Hey, let me refill my coffee real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, see, as far as like us being in other countries and fighting and all that shit, I never really have believed in that, you know. A lot of people die behind that shit. And if some of these politicians was out on the front line fighting, I promise you it'd be a lot fucking different. But we all know that already. It's just
give me
too
a minute.
easy.
I'm gonna mute for a second.
Yeah, go for it. America was for sale, not no more. See, and that's something else I had a problem with too. Ram Red. As soon as like they really announced it, where China was buying up all the farmland, there's no other country should be fucking part of that. Our food sources ought to be solely us. Nobody should be investing in that. No outside people should be. That's my opinion, though. I mean, I don't even know how much food we produce for the rest of the world.
No, I think a lot of, well, we were, if you remember that shit that was going on, that we're paying farmers to burn and destroy crops.
Yeah, I remember that.
Trying to create artificial shortages and drive up the price in the market.
See, and you know, just like always with that farm aid shit, there's American farmland should never fall under, I guess, how am I trying to word this? Where they get in financial burden trying to grow crops and stuff. It should never be that way. I watched this man. I can't remember exactly what he said. It was something to do with what's the people it's over the farming shit, Rusty?
Shit, dude, I forget.
They was coming out and testing the soil and shit. And when he was like trying to get help from him, he had
EPA,
to pay.
I guess, Environmental Protection Agency. I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
EPA.
But he was talking about how when he tried to get help from them to fix the shit, that they wouldn't do it. But he had to pay this fee towards them every year. It was something to do with agriculture. It wasn't EPA. Yeah,
I think NADA's got it. Yeah, agriculture.
And they just would not do nothing to help him. I remember seeing the thing on there, and it kind of made me go, what the fuck? Why not? But you only hear one side of the story with that shit.
No, you probably don't. I think you hear the result of a crafted story is what I think they give us. Like, you don't even get the facts of it. You get a narrative, if you will.
Right.
That's pre-made for you. So
right. That's true too. See, I wouldn't. You have to look at shit with a side eye and actually investigate the shit. But it was just something that kind of caught my ear one day. You know, sometimes I'd just be going over shit like that. I don't know if you do that or not.
Like, man, I don't know. I am very careful about where I invest my energy. You know, personal energy anyway, into certain shit. Right. And it just, if I don't have much of a return on it, like if there's nothing I'm going to get out of it.
Fucking smart, dude.
Yeah, I don't even fuck with it, man. It just, to me, it's just a waste of time. I got the same 24 hours that everybody else has.
Exactly.
And if I'm going to just sit around and look at shit that's going to piss me off and be like, oh man, and I can't do anything about it. Like, why?
Right.
Why? Like, am I going? I look at it like this. Like, I've always had this. Not always. When I became a wise enough age to realize and see this shit for myself, is that you can ignore politics until it ends up in your front yard. Right. And I'm not saying that you need to go and get involved politically, because that's the cesspool. You do need to be tuned into it. You do need to pay attention to what's going on.
Especially around it. Especially, I didn't mean to cut you off, but especially where you live at. Believe it or not, that's what's most important. I have figured that out.
Yeah,
if you don't,
and you can't. You just, if you look at what you're like, what I would encourage people to do, if you're really interested in getting in tune with your area, find out who your elected prosecutor is. Go and look into these people. Instead of worried about some fucking people on YouTube or some dude, you know, wherever, go look at these people that are in your area. Look at their record. You can find information on them. Look at what they vote for. Look at who they're connected to.
Yeah, and what they're
Get
doing.
in tune with that shit, because that's what's going to matter to you. You know, they ultimately where you live. You know, if you want to invest some time, there's an outcome for that could be positive, or at least informative for you.
Could be deadly too, depending on what you find.
Yeah,
Just
I didn't
like-
say you needed to spread it on. Don't uncover like scams and schemes
Yeah.
going on and shit on your YouTube channel.
Damn, did you hear what happened to Ricky Bobby? He fucking jumped off the bridge with his car down there. It was all accident. Nobody knows how that big old
Yeah.
white stripe got on the side of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
them
shit.
dudes. Yeah, they drove a fucking MRAP through the front of his house because he had illegal lizards.
Hey.
Some shit.
That's how it goes too, ain't it?
Yeah,
Hey,
no shit.
Did you ever see that? I want to say his name was Lavelle, where he was grazing his cattle and had been for fucking ever, and there was some kind of dispute or something, and instead of giving him a bunch of time to like readjust what he had to do or whatever, they fucked him up. But he pushed that shit because he had right to. I guess he bought it.
No, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the Bundy Ranch shit.
No, this dude, they killed him right on the side of the highway.
It was LaVille Fennicum. I knew who you're talking about.
That shit looked crazy, dude.
Well, the thing, and here's that's an interesting topic to get down. If you're interested in talking about the government and how it operates, if you think about this, right, that whole Bundy Ranch standoff, and that's where the cattle came in. The Bundys were, Ramred Bud. Sorry, I can barely see the screen. Getting old, man. I'm about to just give in and get some fucking glasses. But basically, that Bundy Ranch standoff is they were running the Bundys out of the grazing lands, right? But the whole fucking the government there, they was the cattle, and they were trying to find him. Basically, what it is, and it had been going on for years. So people got together and took a stand against the government, and they brought guns. Which is, and we saw what happened, right? We saw exactly what happened. I still vividly remember people taking that stand. One of the guys that I used to follow, he passed away, I think, a year or two ago. James Yeager was there. And basically, they literally were pointing guns at government agents and backing them off, and they went away. They did not have a firefight over this. They went away. Bundy's went on. So then later on, they went after him in court and indicted every single fucking person they could in regard that had anything to do with this. Anything.
Yeah, see, the video I saw was probably the same video a lot of other people saw, where he was fucking going down the highway or whatever, and he pulled over and they started lighting him up. But see, I didn't know they was pointing guns at him before that. That would be why
but they weren't charged for that. So I want to say that the whole thing with the Lavelle Fennicum thing was they did some kind of an Occupy thing, if I remember correctly, because this happened like in 2013. They did some kind of a thing where they occupied, Bureau of Land Management. Thank you. The BLM, we get it confused with the other one, but yeah, Bureau of Land Management. Thank you, Ram Red. I think they did some kind of I'm just trying to remember, but I know they were occupying something like a sanctuary or some shit. In basically kind of just pushing it. And what happened was this time they knew that this particular group was they're labeled as extremists and insurgents. That's why, he was trying to drive away and just they got away with it the first time. And then the second time, that's why, and that dude, I think he was in his 60s, Lavelle was, when they executed him on the side of the road there.
Yeah,
they shot the fuck out of the truck. There was other people in the truck. I want to say it was one of Bundy's daughters or something was in the truck. I'd have to go back and look at it.
There was two in the back seat, and I want to say there was two in the front. Lavelle and a woman, and then I think the Bundy's daughter and whoever, her husband or whoever, was in the back seat.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, Frazzled Rock. If you go, I want to say there's a still shot that I remember of a guy with an AR-based rifle pointing through the crack in a bridge at people from the government. So there was a stance taken against them. They did draw down on them. They didn't threaten them, but there was guns on them. So yeah, they were pointing guns at them.
Yeah, see, I didn't get that story. I didn't get that one. All I seen was the assassination, and that shit looked horrible, man. That was fucking crazy.
Yeah, but that's what they'll do. I mean, you got to think about it. And then they painted this dude out You know, oh, he was reaching and this and that. I mean, I think this shit we're looking at right now is probably what, 12, 13 years old. We're trying to recall it.
Yeah,
But
it was old. It was old. Slay back. You painting or something.
He done dipped on us, man.
Hey, did you hear anything about the couple that they fucking put in jail over the fence being 3 feet out of place?
No, I completely missed
Yeah,
that.
it was on management, the land management shit. They were grazing up there, and it was a fence that had been marked off in the same place for shit 100 and something years. It wasn't even nothing to do with them. But I remember they got locked up and was fucking just about to lose everything over that shit. And to me, the government just overreaches a lot, it seems like. And they pick certain fights, like shit that they should be doing, they don't. And shit that doesn't make any sense, they go to the extreme about it seems like sometimes.
Well, there's a long history of getting people to a point where they're pretty docile, right? So I guess the theory, and I guess we can only call it theory because I don't have any real like scientific reference for it, but why were they putting fluoride in your drinking water, right? They want to dumb you down and make you more docile, easier to control. Much like what you see, like all the distractive shit that we have on television. You know, I mean, you just think about it. And to Frazzle Rock's comment there, I mean, I don't mean to be speaking out of school about it, but I do know, I do recall what I saw, and I was like, yeah, this is a turning point. Did they draw down on like someone there? No, but there was a guy on Overwatch through a bridge with an AR. So that's in that. If I saw that with my own eyes, you know, the government saw it. So you know what I'm talking about. It's not like somebody drew down on them and chased them off the land, but they did back off. So not to get it too hyperbolic, but that's what I saw. So back to the whole thing of it just getting people where they're docile and easy to control. That's been long in the works. That's what they want, right? And if you look at like programming on your television, like let's just, for fuck's sake, when the COVID shit was going on, right? Like all these television shows were adopting like the fucking, like they're wearing masks on TV and all this other shit. And now a short time later, you know, we realize that it's 100% fucking bullshit what went on. Right. And that this was just a very large dry run on a psyop. And, you know, you take a look at all this stuff and to me, like anytime I'm looking at a television program, and I can only consume so much of it, I'm looking at stuff like that, and there's just shit that I can't unsee. You know, like stuff
the
like
fucking,
that. Like,
I'm sorry. Talking about unseeing shit, like during COVID, they fucking pushed everybody together, herded them together like animals. Like when you went to Walmart and shit. And I thought that. I was like, wait a minute now. We're supposed to be social distancing. You worried about the spread of a fucking virus. You're making us all check out at the same goddamn line. That shit didn't make no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't recall if me and you discussed this before, but I had a very similar take to that. I didn't understand that why, like basically in the interest of the COVID and social distancing, that we closed down the number of hours that a place was open, limited
Forced
you to
everybody.
one entrance and one exit. Right? You're basically just corralling people into an area. I was like, man, to me, you would think you'd have that fucking thing open 24 hours and only allow, in the interest of shit. But I'll tell you what, there's a dude that I've been following for a long time, and he's a super smart motherfucker. Dude's by the name of Dave Champion. And he went through, man, and was kind of like, he's a stickler for like details and shit. And he went through and kind of broke down some shit on that. And he was like even using like the government's own numbers against them. And it was like looking at it, and they were talking about like the rate of infection. And one day he broke it down to the point. He's like, dude, he's like, if you look at this, they're using the CDC's own rate of infection. The entire planet would already have been infected.
That's crazy. Hold on now.
Like,
I'm looking up that dude you just said. So I'm just, is that him right there?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yeah, it's Dave. Yeah,
The one
so
in the bottom
he's-
right there. All right.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
yeah.
fixing-
So
I'm
he's
subscribed to him.
yeah. Go ahead and subscribe to him. Now, be aware, his political views are probably going to upset a lot of people. He is not a leftist. He's not a right.
Yeah,
He's
but
pretty
see, I
much
don't-
what I am. He's
Rusty, I-
pretty much an anarchist. Yeah.
I don't want somebody to agree with me. I want somebody to enlighten me why what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? It
Mhm.
gives you a better point of view. I don't always agree with everybody, but
Yeah,
I'm okay
yeah,
with
he will get you outside your comfort zone. He will challenge your beliefs on some things, but for the most part, I've disagreed with him on a few things. But for the most part, he does keep you thinking. You know, and I do appreciate that. I don't like echo
yeah.
chambers. I don't like people constantly agreeing with you and shit like that. I like to have my thoughts challenged. I like to look at things from a different perspective because that's the only way you're ever going to grow, right?
Yeah, that's what makes you sharper, for sure.
Yeah. And he will definitely do that. So he's not, I'll just warn you, he's not a big fan of Trump. He's not a big fan of any person that's elected, but you know,
Bro,
there's a lot of information there that you could gain.
To be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of Trump right now either, and it ain't got a damn thing to do with anybody else's opinion. I'm just tired of hearing him say the same shit over and over again. There ain't but so much talk you can do as far as saying you're the best, and I mean, I don't know. He just doesn't have a good talking points.
Nah, he's very braggadocious with shit, and it's kind of off-putting.
It is
to people who are looking to him for leadership. I don't give a fuck how much you really think of yourself. That's really not anyone who tells you that they're smart is probably pretty fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just my take on it. Like your intellect and the way you carry yourself is for other people to speak on, not you.
Right.
And if you have to tell people about
how
you
good
and
you
all
are,
your fucking accomplishments, they kind of lose some luster with that. So,
hey, straight shooter, how you doing?
I hear you. We stop doing that. You're putting undue pressure on me.
Yeah,
And
Rusty.
it's
Everybody wants you to
not.
go live. Damn it.
I know, but you know what they want me to talk about.
Yeah. No, I'm tired of talking about that motherfucking idiot too. He ain't worth talking about. To be honest with you.
No, and I'll give him some space. So
he needs it. That hepatitis C could be catchable.
Yeah.
He needs all the fucking space he can get.
Yeah, well, like I said, there's just so much shit that I'm sitting on with as far as like he goes.
Right.
And the bad thing is I haven't even watched it. That's the fucked up part. Is like there's a lot there that I just haven't touched on. And it's, I don't know, man. I don't want to get into too much of it, but at the same time,
I don't blame you.
At the same time, so, and it gets really challenging, right? Because I think a lot of us have a lot invested in Ryan, and we really want to see good things from him, and we really want to see him doing well. But it's also at the same time when you're shouting this fucking idiot out.
Yeah.
After everything he's fucking said and done. And I mean, not just to him, but like you speak on a dead baby, you fucking with people who are dying of cancer, like actively going to their homes. You do shit like that. And then you have fucking Hosier post this dude up and start talking about how he's redeemed himself and all that shit. You know what? You can miss me with all that fake bullshit. You can miss me with all of it. And I'm done with that show. As far as that shit goes, I know nothing else but to keep it real. And there's just some things that you can't undo, and that's all I'll say about it.
Yeah, no, the dude dying and going to his house just to put a little more stress on him than fucking what he's dealing with already in his last moments is like pretty fucking low, dude. I agree with you. There ain't no coming back from that, in my opinion.
No. Yeah, so and I look at it like this, and then to me, after seeing that, it's just like, okay, like I said, I have nothing. I can do one thing, and all I can do is keep it real. And it's not going to be what people expect. So.
Oh shit! Yeah. I was going to say something about it, but I ain't going to.
No, don't worry. I don't want to get drug off into this. We can keep talking about what we were talking about.
Yeah. Fucking, what? I done been smoking weed this morning too, so.
Dude, you're having a good time.
Oh yeah, I'm relaxing. I'm relaxing. I needed that too. But anyways, I was talking. Does anybody know anything about that couple? I was trying to look them up, but it stops
the people
me
with the fence?
Yeah, because I'm only like can do one thing at a time. I ain't a multitasker. That's why I got married though. If I didn't have Amanda, I wouldn't fucking be able to find myself sometimes, dude. Which is crazy, but
no, dude, you gotta have you gotta have a good woman.
Poor girl, poor fucking girl. Hey, she go to call me an idiot and shit sometimes because we always joke around, and she'd be like, "You're a damn idiot." I was like, "Well, who's the stupid one? You fucking married me. You know what I mean? If I'm the one so stupid, then why'd you marry me?" I think she felt sorry for me.
There's man, dude. You need a good person to check you. You need a good person to check you. Like it's fuck. I wish my wife would do that more often. If you're getting ready to do something stupid, and you have somebody that's that close to you, you need that person to be honest with you at all times.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
And I mean, we all make mistakes, dude. We all do shit that we wish we didn't do.
Yeah.
We've been down that fucking road and done stuff, and you're like, man, you want to look over, and I'm like, why the fuck didn't you tell me not to do that? I mean, it's shit like that.
Hey, I know you've heard me say this before. What you think about my plan is like retirement, going sailing, living on a boat like that?
If it's sustainable, do it.
Shit, everything I got's paid for. You know what I mean? We ain't rich by no means whatsoever. We fucking low class as far as that shit goes. But dude, sailing don't cost a lot of money. I mean, the upkeep on a small boat, you have to do all the work yourself, but it's not that bad. Now you fucking get on a hunk of shit that just needs totally rebuilt. That's one thing. But I just want to go see a bunch of nature before I check out of here, man. This earth is beautiful, man. It really is. It is a beautiful fucking place.
Dude, I think it's a good idea, but I wouldn't be able to speak on it as in depth as you would, because you've got a lot more research in it, right?
Plus, I used to go fishing offshore for weeks at a time. And I'm going to tell you, it's the peace that you find out there, man, because there's no nothing. You know what I mean? No, nothing fucking with you, nagging at you or whatever. You just don't see a bunch of shit. All you see is just nature, basically. It's very relieving, man. I think everybody should fucking, if you don't get seasick, I think everybody should book a chartered sail for a couple of days and let them take them offshore like that. I think it would change your thoughts on things, man.
Well, I mean, to me, that just sounds great. Just to be free from other people and all their bullshit and the baggage that they bring to life.
Yep, it's just you.
Sounds like a great place.
Yeah, it's just you and the force of nature. This year, I plan on getting a lot of shit done with that boat. I got to get that fucking motor changed, man. And it ain't that bad, really, but I just ain't did it.
Yeah, but I mean, shit, dude, we all look. I look at it like this, man. At the very end of it, if you never did accomplish it, right, you've got all this energy that you're putting into it. You got goals and you're driven. You've got something to work towards. And if you look around, just like the YouTube, like this shit that we see on YouTube, a lot of these people on here that are on here all the fucking time, they don't have any of that.
Right.
They don't have any place to direct energy that's going to go in some, like just something, right? Just have some kind of a goal, some kind of a structure in your life to go and do something.
A hobby,
it's your time, a hobby, anything. And I mean, man, it's, to me, dude, I don't know. There's just too much, like the time that you're going to put into stuff like that. And you got kids out here running around who don't have you. Or I mean, for fuck's sake, if you ain't got a job, if you don't have like a way to support yourself and you're on this fucking thing the whole goddamn day, oh my God, who puts up with that? There's no way.
Yeah, because that's why they do it, is because there's some kind of income for them, but they don't have a fucking hobby for sure.
Gee,
Couching
dude,
around is not a hobby. Ain't that true?
Dude, you could put there's not any money in this unless you are a huge YouTuber. Like a good portion of the money that I've gotten on here, I've put back into the community. And people, and I've never out any person, but people who know.
Right. Exactly.
And it's just, it's just one of those things, man. It's like, it's not a whole lot, but it's enough. But if you were going to, it'd be a lot easier. Like, and I get it. I'm blessed in a lot of different ways as far as that stuff goes, but I could find a lot more lucrative things to do with my time than YouTube.
Yeah, most definitely. Most fucking definitely. It'd be different if it was moving in a positive direction too, but it's not. It's all fucking negative, stupid shit, like you say.
Yeah, it's the drama, and I mean, I get it. There's certain things that are drama is entertainment, and I think people just discount it as something as bad. And no, it's not. It's a part of life. It's real, right? It's there's always going to be that faction of it. People would flock to watch soap operas back in the day because we had this manufactured drama for them to keep up with. People fucking each other over and this and that, in this scenario and that scenario. And it's all the stuff that grabs people's attention. It's not a bad thing. People always put this negative connotation on it. It is just part of life. So, but you need to like anything else, like if you sit around, you eat too much fucking ice cream or you drink too much fucking alcohol, you're going to have negative effects. If you consume too much drama, you're going to have negative effects. So
ain't that the fucking truth?
Yeah. Wills was asking something about, I was going to answer this
Ian
real
fucking
quick.
Oz.
Yeah. They're both in their 70s.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Wheels said something about Martha crashing. I completely missed it. I didn't even look at it. Doesn't even care to. The people who know that, like when he goes live from a tent, is the only time I'm going to talk about him. That's it. And I that's only because I said I would do it. I couldn't care less.
Oh,
about
and it's going to happen too.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask. Hey, will he claim the interstate as his after that?
I hope so. I don't. He's fucking
will he
delusional
claim
as
the
it
interstate as his after that?
Yeah, he's fucking delusional.
Dude,
as fuck,
talk
dude.
about lying. Just straight up and lying.
Yeah, him and the fucking old queer from Crooksville, dude. They're the
Yeah, no, I was saying fucking.
Yeah, them two dudes, man, they are.
You are not fucking lying.
Yeah, they're the same thing. And I think, and I want to say it's because of that fucking narcissistic personality disorder, man. Them dudes share. They're lying by default. I don't think it's the fluoride, but I think if fluoride did that to you, dude, well, I ain't gonna go on there. But the whole thing, man, that willingness to just lie, just over, like by default, like the first thing that comes out of your mouth is going to be something that's untrue, and you share it as it's fact. It's just like, dude, the fucked up thing is those people, they don't see what we see. They don't see how ridiculous they look to normal people.
Right.
And you're like, what in the fuck is this cartoon character to come to life doing it? Like, oh, okay. And it's just, and it gets to a point like you're only entertained by it for so long, and then you just check out of it because it's nonsense.
Ain't that the fucking truth? That dude, something else. Like, I don't know, man. I find it kind of odd that all these motherfuckers are that way, live off of a woman. They depend on a woman to take care of them, like all the way. To me, I couldn't do that. I have to be the fucking provider. If not, it drives me nuts, dude.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like your place in life, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have a role as a man, as a husband, a father, and a provider. You do that stuff. That's what you do. The last thing in the world you want to happen is for one of your children to come to you and say, hey, Dad, I need you for this. And you not be able to do, what are you going to do? Look at your wife and be like, well, can you do it? And I mean, no, no, like, dude, I would rather fucking die than horribly. I'd rather die horribly than to let my children down.
Right.
In that sense. I mean, there's just, I don't understand how people do it.
How the fuck do you take your kids' settlement money? And I ain't talking about just one person, but I'm saying in period across all boards of people. How the fuck do you take your kids' settlement money and go buy yourself a vehicle when you, dude?
Well, I understand how it happened. I know how it happened. There's been a willingness with that. Okay. So with that dude you're talking about right there, if you notice the pattern, and Patty actually has the same pattern as well. You notice they do some fucked up shit and they're looking for a response so they can solidify their status as a victim.
Mm.
They'll do something to light a fire and then stand back and like, oh my God. And they'll use words and they'll say things like, you're attacking me. Hang on just a second. You know, they'll say some shit like you're attacking me. And
was that a grandfather clock going off?
No, that was my phone going off. Oh. That was my reminder to go get out on the mower and cut the grass. But the whole thing, they use all these fucking terms like, oh, well, I seen one thing where Gobble was like talking about me. He's like, hey, he trying to ruin my life, y'all. And I'm just like, and I would sit back and I look at it and I'm like, what I have done in regards to this dude, I look at things you put out on the internet and hold you accountable for the ones that you try to delete. I look at them, I give commentary and opinion on them. You equate that to, I'm trying to ruin your life. And then they use words like attack. Like that, them people getting their ass whooped in Cincinnati by a crowd of people, that's an attack. When somebody's putting hands on you and fucking you up and maybe change you for the rest of your life type shit, that's an attack. Me disagreeing with you and the way you live your lifestyle that you make very public on a platform like YouTube is not an attack. But I say all that to say this. They use these terms and these words, and the only thing they're ever looking for is to become a victim. So they can say, oh, and because it's part of the whole, attention matrix that they're in, right? People are going to pay attention to me if I've been wronged and I'm a victim. And it's just like, you can play in that sector for a while if you want. But the truth of the matter is like, you just do this shit to yourself.
Right.
Johnny Gobble has been allowed to
do
because
this shit. Yeah, it's shit he's put on the fucking internet. You didn't go make it up for him.
No, I didn't fucking create a video and then to paint him in a bad light. I looked at his video that paints him in a bad light and pointed out shit that's blatantly obvious about him. In a way he lives and then his take on that is that I'm trying to ruin his life. And it's just like, I don't
destroying him.
At the end of the day, there's, like I said, when I'm having to dumb myself down to do that stuff, there's some fun, there's some laughs that you can have with it and all that stuff. But if you look at the sad existence of the person, all right, and it's hard for me to even equate him to being a person because all the shit that he's done. It's just like, man, dude, what a fucking waste of your life. Like you have time on the planet that's been granted to you by whoever, whatever your belief system is. And what do you do with it? Like where is the fruits of your labor and the time on this planet? Do you have kids that, that are taken care of? When they put you away in the ground or however you're going to go away, what are people going to think about you when you're gone? Does your legacy mean anything to? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The things, I'm not even going to repeat the things that he's going to be known for. But if you think about it, right? His victim status, priority number one. And his running partner, Patty, same thing. If you pay attention to her and her patterns of what she does with shit, same thing. This is why they get along so fabulously. And she does not mind. The most tragic part of that is she don't mind using that motherfucker at all. She doesn't, she views him as less than human. He is a tool and an instrument for her.
Yep. And that's why I always say, why does their fucking relationship have, if they're such great friends, why does it have to be known all over YouTube? Why does it have to be so public? Because he uses her too for clout, is what it is, because of her last name.
Well, yeah, not only that,
it's
but
fucking wild.
He's being
just
given
like
money because of it.
Right. That's what I was fixing to say. Just like with the fucking live streaming, selling his paintings and all that shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was out there. I never did understand that.
Oh, I understood it completely. It is a grift on the community. You're selling something to the people that they don't want.
Let me rephrase that. I understood it, what they were doing, but I don't understand why she would allow it to happen. Is my thing.
Who would allow it to happen?
Why Patty would allow that to happen? She allowed all that.
Oh, because she's not good. That's why. She doesn't have, like, they're so, like, if people pay attention, you'll see what, and I mean, I know what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to break it down and show people what the pattern is and who this person really is. And, you know, and then once I point it out to you, it'll be plain as day. You won't be able to unsee it.
Right. And see, that's what he don't like about you, though, is because he always is trying to paint himself as this victim, like you say. And then when you point it out, there's no, like, yeah, there's no unseeing it.
Yeah. You can't unsee it. I mean, and I don't know, like, for me personally, I'm always in the real world, at least, I'm looking for redeeming qualities in people. Like, if I have a feeling about someone, I always try to say, hey, look, you know, what's the redeeming quality? Because I understand, like, me and everybody's not going to get along. I'm looking for a redeeming quality in a person. And then generally people fall into two different categories for me. They're either someone who is a resource, right? Who I can, you know, I find some value in, whether it be knowledge, help or whatever. Right. And there's a class of people who deal strictly in excuses, right? The only thing they produce is an excuse instead of a result in life.
Right.
And those generally are the people. And it's just like, I look that second class there, the people who produce the excuses, I look for a redeeming quality, man. And you can't find any because they're so set in those ways. And Johnny's just like that. Patty's just like that. You know, these people like Psycho Babble Rap's just like that. Martin's just like that. All these people who were, you know, mentally fucked up, they have this. And you see it over and over and over and over again. The way that they operate in life, what is the fruit of what they're doing? Nothing. They provide a fucking excuse. It's always somebody else's fault for the problems that they have for themselves.
Yeah, and that's fucking crazy. It really is. That's crazy to be that way. What's gonna happen to these motherfuckers when they get old, dude?
They're getting old.
Yeah. Well, they've been.
Yeah,
right.
You're looking at dudes on fucking step 0 in life, and they're 40. Nothing. What are you talking about? Like, I'm like, dude, not like zero accomplishments. Nothing.
And
no base,
no
nothing.
skills. No skills. No. Nothing.
Yep.
That's fucking wild. Usually by the time you're 20, you at least got some kind of skill you can make a living off of. And you could always go back to. Not that motherfucker. Well, I guess he could be a couch tester. He could tell people what in the quality of the couch, which one lasts the longest.
You're just destroying the couch.
Putting a shit stain on that motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't want a slightly used couch.
What? It ain't slightly used in that motherfucking case. It's plenty fucking season. Oh shit. Yeah. Hell, I guess I guess we're fixing to get to see how you buy a house with no fucking credit and no money for a down payment, ain't we?
Yeah, yeah. Again, and there's little bits and pieces of that that I look at, and I'm just like, there was something. I think somebody brought it up. I didn't hear it personally, but it was something about we're gonna. I don't know if it was Rich or somebody was talking about it, but something about they were gonna get a loan for the down payment, and I'm like, dude, that's not how any of this works, but. It's like, to me, the thing about it is, and I mean, I know because there's people in this chat that have bought homes and they understand how this works. It's they look at your debt to income ratio. So let's just say that you took another loan, right? You took on another loan to buy a home. The lender would the lender would rather have the interest on that mortgage by financing that part of it into it, because it's going to be, if you ever looked at an amortization table, the interest on these things is significant. On a 30-year loan, you're paying about 3 times the amount what you would have just for a cash price on a house. So they would have rather rolled that interest in and extend you that credit than to have you get a loan for the down payment, which is going to work in reverse of your debt to income ratio of how much they will loan you. It's a catch-22. You really can't do that. So it would make it like if I took out a loan for fucking $30,000 or $40,000 to put down on a home, it's a $40,000 fucking loan that I owe that I owe a payment on. Now you can do you could do like a second mortgage and shit like that. They'll do stuff like that. Good.
But you gotta have the first mortgage to put down the second one. Who the fuck gonna loan them $40,000 on nothing?
I mean, I'm just throwing. Yeah,
that's what I want.
It's 4,000 or what?
That's the person I need to talk to.
Yeah, it just don't make any sense, man. And I don't, the real look. The person who's good friends with him has been known to do some make a wish shit with some houses. So you never know.
Right.
Who the fuck knows? So
yeah, I don't think
you'll never get the truth of it. He'll get on here. He'll get on here and just fucking tell lies and one half. I was watching something. Oh no! I did. I tuned into one of his lives in the afternoon the other day, and he was saying, "What the fuck?" He was saying at one. Didn't he say like Melinda had like a fucking 800 credit score or something like that when they bought that car? So I remember he was saying how good Melinda's credit was.
I don't remember.
Yeah, this was back when they bought the car. And then the other day he's on there saying, well, they're going to go through and they got to pay $450 to get something removed from her credit. And I'm like, you got shit credit. You're just telling, you got an unpaid fucking bill that's in collections, wherever it is. You've got some shit that's on your credit that's negative that you have to get removed, which is you not paying the fucking bills. You're talking about paying $450 to get it removed from your summary. I'm like, dude, yeah, you guys are you can't afford to do that. You don't have the credit to buy a fucking house if that's what's going on. So it's just like, man, I don't care to get caught up in the fucking details of it. If the first time that they were talking about this, I was all for it. I told Johnny, I said, dude, listen, this is what you need to do. You need to step up and be a man, because I recognize this as like a turning point for Johnny. Like when they were talking about buying her house, like buying Belinda a house, I was like, okay, listen, it's coming late, like 30, 38, 39 years old. It's coming late in life, but this might be what it is, man, to turn it around. And this dude, he may see, hey, look, I got a house now. Maybe I can get my ass up and go to work. Maybe I'm looking at it from an aspect of like, dude, maybe this would be enough just to turn you around, some break for you and get you. I was 100% all for it.
Getting woke the fuck up. Yeah.
Yeah. They got into talking about the payment was going to be $1,000 and they weren't sure if they could afford it. Well, rent in the fucking real world, you ain't going to afford. So, and I mean, and it kind of holds true. Like I honestly think
the cheapest rent around here. The cheapest rent around here is fucking $1,200-$1,300 a month. If you can't come up with $1,000 for a down payment, you ain't got no business trying to buy a house. But then again, they're wasting the fucking realtor's time anyway, you know?
Yeah, and these like realtors, they're in the business, dude. If they can get you financed on a loan, they'll get points put on it on the back end for themselves, for like finder's fees through the lender. They're like to get deals done, and maybe because that like mortgage lending, dude, it's a huge business. You got to figure, man, the long-term payout, like it's 2 to 3 times depending on the amount of time that you finance a loan for. You know, if you look at that interest table, you look at the amortization table, dude, you're going to pay way, way more than what it's, than what the cash price would be of that house. It's a big fucking business. By just extending long-term credit to people, if they can get you done, and especially like if you got like a FHA or a USDA loan, like government assistance programs, they'll qualify you for that shit. But there's certain criteria to do it. Now, if you're running around like a jackass and not paying your fucking bills and you got crazy shit on your credit, they're not going to overlook that shit. Because your credit worthiness comes down to, hey, listen, how well do you pay fucking bills? And those two, apparently not.
Yeah, if you can't pay a cell phone bill, you ain't paying a fucking mortgage payment. That's the way they're looking at it.
Well, I mean, not even if you can, it's if you choose to. So the thing about it is like predatory lending, like credit cards and shit like that, they'll give you those all day long. Mortgage, they're pretty strict on that.
Yeah.
So
if they can't pay the fucking rent at a Section 8 housing, I mean, how the fuck they expect to buy a house? I don't know. They want something for free anyway.
Yeah,
that's what their whole deal is. They not moving.
Kind of that really what started this whole discussion is that the dude's always got both hands out, always looking for somebody else to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, in the worst thing in the fucking world, man, is when you have someone who's like that, who's unmotivated in life, who's just basically a beggar, is to continue to pay them.
This guy ain't reading one comment. I'm sorry, Rusty. Randy's saying we're not paying attention to him in chat. I'm reading them. I'm reading them. That's what's fucking me up.
He read that one, Randy. So at least he read one, and he put it up on the screen too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, basically, I forget what the fuck we were. Oh, Johnny and his both hands out. If you got a dude who survives in life, right? So he's living up under the woman. They got their voucher or whatever's going on, or they're paying full rent, or whatever fucking version of the story you got nowadays. The dude is in. When he goes and works a little side job and gets a sunburn and all that shit, and then he needs to post about it just to basically somehow get some kind of verification that he's working. He's a hard working dude. And look, working side jobs is not a steady income.
No.
Yeah. I mean, that's the shit you do after you're done with your job. Right. If you want to make a little side hustle shit like that, hey, you do that. That's where you do your mad money, where you buy your toys and shit with your side hustle. That's not a source of income. And there's no reason, like able-bodied men and it's fucked up. Like if she was all taken care of and they had everything paid for and he wants to fuck off and do what he does, go for it. Go for it. Ain't nobody's
Rusty,
business.
Give me just a second. I gotta return this call. It might be a service call. Hold on a second.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Wheels says I think you see him getting a trailer. A trailer's a home, man. If it's yours. What's up, T-Dam? Ghetto Bougie buying $40 vitamin powders. Jeez, yeah. What the fuck? What's up, Deerfield? Gina G unit. Yeah, Inferno. That's like I said. People don't. Yeah, T-Dam does that. I'm kind of scared of T-Dam myself. What's up, G3 Mini? Linda doesn't even cook them homemade meals anymore. They eat out every day. Yeah, well, that kind of signals some other shit that's probably going on. Hey, thank you, Wills. I appreciate it. Like I said, man, I don't have much desire to be on here. Like this discussion I'm having with Uncle Will, I don't mind doing this shit at all, man. Don't bother me at all. Talk about real world shit. I just don't like talking about fucking mentally ill people. What's up, Jay Prez? Damn, Ready Randy, that's a little rough. I ain't touching that one, dude. Oh. The whole Daggy situation is draining. Just hope that people actually see the real. The people don't like. I don't know. Like anybody who openly supports that dude, they're just. I think they're just shitty people. If you're encouraging that kind of, I just look at it like, man, you know, the kind of person who's going to, you know, speak on dead children, and you know, a guy like I recall it vividly, seeing Kansas on panel with Tamara, and he was fucking crushed during that whole thing. I mean, absolutely, I felt so bad for the dude. He was absolutely just fucking destroyed, and you know, and I mean, it took, you know, he was just trying to get it out, man, and he was just really fucked up. And I saw that, and then Johnny turns around and fucking sticks a knife in that dude and tries to use it against him. Just the shittiest thing you could do, man. And it's just like, once you do that, you kind of know, you know, like I can not like somebody, I can have a disagreement with someone, but I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to do that. Yeah. And then you think about, you know, and the whole thing, like I get it. Like a lot of people do not like Gotcha Man, right? Basically based on his stance of shit. I don't have a problem with Gotcha Man. And I believe the man is entitled to his opinion. Here's how I sum that up. Gotcha Man takes care of his family. Gotcha Man pays his bills. Gotcha Man's providing for his kids. That man is entitled to his fucking opinion. And I can respect his viewpoints and his opinion based on that stuff. I can respect him as a man and a husband and a provider because he's handling business. I don't need to agree with everything the dude does. Yeah. I can respect him.
Exactly.
You know, that's just my take on it. So with that, I look at it like, oh, Johnny goes up to the man's father's home when he's actively in hospice care dying. You know, and there's something, I know a lot of people missed it. That day that this whole thing, when Triple T came to his town, all that shit, at early in the morning, you know, Johnny put out a video. He anticipated Gotcha Man not being home. And he put out a video saying, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to be the boogeyman. Basically saying he was going to Gotcha Man's town to go terrorize his wife when he was out of town.
Yeah.
And people miss that. Like, people just overlook that shit.
You see, I don't watch the motherfucker all the time. I just watch him secondhand a lot. Rusty, I got to bounce, though. I got to go get this money. I appreciate you coming up more than you know.
Oh, shit. Hey, dude, it's good to talk to you, man.
Hey, chat, we'll holler at y'all later. Hey, y'all have a good night.
You guys
appreciate you, Rusty. Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir.